Welcome to part 4 of Surviving a Dysfunctional Family. In the original post, I described my mother as an abusive deadbeat bully. And the reason why I said that is, I have many reasons as to why I said that. But one of the things that I experienced growing up with my mother was emotional prostitution. Now, this is something that I've discussed with a therapist. This is something that I've discussed with many friends before. And this is something that I experienced mainly from the ages of 11 to 15, but honestly, I can pinpoint several times in my life where I've experienced my mother trying to monetize me through relationships with men. And I want to be very clear when I'm saying emotional prostitution, because I was being forced to be kind to men, to listen to men, to take orders from men that my mother was claiming that she was building a relationship with or that she was just sleeping with, because my mother wanted to monetize me. My mother wanted to figure out how to make some money for me. I would say I have to put the quotation marks because I watched some of the things my mother would do when she received money for her children. And it's not always for the children. Sometimes it is for her. So when I say emotional prostitution, I mean my mother would be dealing with a man. She could literally have just met this person and she's introducing me to them. Oh, this is my daughter. She's so smart. She does this, she does that, trying to see if she could get something out of them. Or already in a relationship with a man and now she's bringing him to me talking about, I don't have a father, that I need some sort of support, somebody to talk to. I've been forced to actually build relationships with men that my mother was dealing with just so my mother could have somebody else to assist her on the financial end of raising me. And it impacted me in a way where it made me look at her as a mother different, just like, you're forcing me to be kind to men, to speak to men that you're sleeping with so that you can get some sort of money from them for me. It also pushed me to be hyper independent. Like, you could not tell me a thing once I was able to work and go to school at 16. As soon as I was able to work, I made sure I did so because my mother always made it her business to let me know that I was a burden. That the child that she decided to have is a burden on her financially. She received child support for my other siblings, so they weren't a burden. And it made me realize that multiple women in my family will treat you better according to how you're benefiting them. And I lived through this several different times because I've lived with several different people in my family, and I've been able to witness the way that I am treated when I come with a check and when I don't. And one of the things that I experienced with my mother was this pure disgust and hatred for having to actually take care of me. It was not something that my mother wanted to do. And anytime my mother could get me to do something that was going to make it easier for her to take care of me, she would. So I had to do a lot of performing, and this is just one of them. Her forcing me to build these relationships with these men that she was dealing with is just one of the ways that my mother made me perform for me to actually be taken care of by her. Sharing this particular topic has really taken a lot out of me. Like, this is something that I didn't really want to discuss whatsoever, but I've always known that the way my mother would go about things in relationships, especially when it came to me and men that she was dealing with, was not right. I've always known that my mother would be interested in putting men before me without hesitance. Like, they don't even have to ask for that. That's what she's already doing. So when I had to recognize the relationships that I was still holding on to into my late 20s, I still had a guy that was still reaching out to me and wanting to take me out for my birthday years after he and my mother stopped dating. And I still was in that dynamic. And it took me having an argument with him about my mother for me to realize, hold on, mister, why are we even here? What is this? Like, I was forced to meet you when I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. I was forced to meet you as a teenager. I was forced to be kind to you. I was forced to have this relationship. So to be going back and forth with somebody about somebody that I've been watching my entire life was insane to me. But also bringing these scenarios to my therapist made me realize how much abuse and neglect I actually endured growing up with this woman. These are ways that she would try to minimize. I remember very clearly the man that told my mother that the way that my brother was acting was going to be the reason why she was single. And from there, she made a separation. From there, my brothers did not have to meet every man my mother was dealing with, but I did. When she needed somebody to ride with her, to go see somebody, to go do a little thing, to go try to manipulate somebody, I was there. I had to be there. And I know that my brothers used to see it as favoritism, like, oh, when you go with mommy, you get stuff. You don't even recognize what she's using my energy for. You don't even recognize that a lot of the times when I'm going with this woman and she's going to meet up with somebody, she's about to give them a sob story that includes me. Instead of adding on another skill, instead of, I don't know, I don't even care. Honestly, I don't even care what she could have done for more money. I don't even care, baby. Using me, forcing me to build relationships with people, that's some abusive, deadbeat, bully type of shit right there. And I don't have to lie about how I feel about it. And to be quite honest, one of the reasons why I'm speaking about it is because I want to make sure that that energy never crosses my path again. Because even in adulthood, if I'm with my mom on a cruise, at the work center, anywhere, and my mom is able to speak to a man, she's going to now introduce that man to her daughter, and now we gotta have a conversation and do a thing. So many times in my life, I've had to witness men make fake conversation with me because they know they only here because they want one thing from this lady, but now they're having to entertain her daughter. Now they gotta get to know her daughter for a couple of seconds and oh, this is my child and this is what my child needs. It's the most disrespectful thing that I think a mom could do to her daughter, to her children. One of the most disrespectful things. This behavior has made me focus on my self-worth because I recognize that a person will only treat you the way you treat yourself, will only look at you the way that you look at yourself or the way that you allow yourself to be looked at. If you set the precedent for somebody that they could do certain things, that they could be a certain way, that they could take advantage of you, that all you gotta do is dangle a couple of dollars in front of them and you could get them doing backflips, that's exactly how they're gonna treat you. And I had to learn not to be movable for money because I'm worth so much more than money. And I don't have to appeal to someone in order for me to take care of myself. No, I am taken care of. I have people who I can call on. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to force relationships. I don't have to use children as bait. And I'll never forget. It doesn't matter how much I forgive my mother for the things that I've experienced. I'll never forget being used as bait for money.